Hey friends, welcome to another episode of Life with Lady O. Lots to go through today. I have a few January reads that I've already completed and want to share with you guys the rest of my plans for January, along with a little back to school update. So let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, jumping right in, I have my February command center spread, whatever you want to call it, pulled up here. Now, first off, don't judge, don't come for me about my current lineup of reading. What we're doing right now is I'm trying to be very intentional about reading what I already have at my disposal. So that means I'm using Libby, I'm going to the library, I'm reading the books that I already have in my Kindle or in my Audible and or on my shelves, and that's what we're doing. We need to get through what we already have because my want to read list of over 600 books is out of control. And I have not separated it. I have not organized that list. It is a hot mess. I deleted all my shelves because it was that overwhelming. Maybe that'll be a good video. What do you guys think? I should do a video going through maybe a few at a time, maybe doing one shelf at a time and seeing where we get. Okay, so back to this. Now, from the reading goals, I definitely wanted to do at least one Newbery or NetGalley every month. As you can see, we went with Newbery, and yes, we have our first DNF of the year, and I have no cares, no shames. It did not bother me to say no, at least not in this case. So, in addition to reading through all the books, all the things. I am also doing my Bible in a Year reading plan from How to Faith a Life. I'll have that linked below, of course, if you all want to check it out. There are 95 grace days, so you still have plenty of time to jump on in, but it is a beautiful plan and definitely having fun reading it. With that said, it is the beginning of the year, so we are starting in Genesis. And right off the bat, I saw this Newbery the story of mankind. And I'm like, okay, well, that should pair well with reading through Genesis. Let's go ahead and do that. No, no, just no. So I tried, guys. I really, really tried. And nope, as you can see, I didn't even make it past page 16. First off, we had a like I was like, no, that's not right. And they had it as in the beginning, the earth was a flaming ball of fire. And I'm like, we're about to go big bang, aren't we? We're going to go big bang. Okay. I don't know if I can do it, but I really did want to get to some of the other chapters throughout the book because there were some interesting things, but nope, I couldn't do it. As soon as we got to the first living cell floated upon the waters of the sea. For millions of years, it drifted aimlessly. First off, don't ever make a rhyme like that. Secondly, no, I cannot sit by, I will not abide in someone trying to tell me for us humans who were purposely and wonderfully made in the image of God and He breathed life into Adam. It takes a lot of intentionality to make a human. Do you know how intricate the body is? I'm just saying. No, I didn't float aimlessly anywhere. I did not come from a pile of ooze. I did not come from a ape. No, I couldn't abide. So, yeah, we just went ahead and got rid of that. So, as you can see right below, that's like, okay, fine. Let's go ahead. Let's go to Witch of Blackbird Pond. Yes. And I'm happy I did. I have some other booktubers that I follow, and all the ones who have ever mentioned this read, and including my beautiful Aunt Christy, yes. I was like, okay, this will be sweet. This will be a good read. I don't have to worry about the nonsense. And it was. It was absolutely a lovely read. So our main girl, Kit, she's so sweet. She's so precious. She grew up in the island of Barbados with her Her grandpa, he did own a plantation, and unfortunately, I wouldn't call it poetic justice because it's very sad, but unfortunately, it seems like the overseer of the plantation definitely took advantage, and the plantation went way downhill. She ended up penniless, and Grandpa died. So, after all of that, she goes to Connecticut to live with her uncle and her family there, and she just absolutely adores her Aunt Rachel from all of the letters and correspondences throughout the years, which that was a very cute relationship to see grow. And from there, we just see how poor Kit has to deal with coming from the island of Barbados. Okay, just imagine the beauty. The teal blue seas, flowers bloom all year round, the sun on your face. Yeah, she goes from that to Connecticut in the 1600s. And as she said, she was not impressed. She was not impressed at all. She was very underwhelmed. So we have to see poor Kit just really struggle to adapt to the Puritan lifestyle. And yeah, just imagine you're this carefree, loving child, and you have all the best intentions of the world, and then all of a sudden it gave me Amish vibes. I have a fear of Amish people. We'll talk about this some other time, but I got the icks for a minute, and I was like, okay, continue, move along. But I was definitely here for it. There were a couple of little love stories in here, and but I don't think that was the main part for me. The main part for me was how Kit built this relationship with the witch of Blackbird Pond, and or became, if you want to call it that way, and also how she just was not afraid to, let's change this up. These kids, we sit here and work day in and day out, and it's time to read and write. Let's do something fun. And she just tries to shake things up. And in the midst of all that, there's this very abused, yes, this poor abused child, Prudence. I feel like her character, I could have used like a lot more of Prudence personally. If you read it, you'll find out why. But yeah, poor little Prudence. You could tell that her mother, she's a Karen. She made me mad. I did not like her. Woo! And her daddy was spineless, but oh boy, Kit came right on in, and I can't go any further, or that would give away what just the ending was. It was beautiful. I never thought that I would enjoy a book from such a weird timeline. I'm not too much for the witch trials. I used to find it interesting in high school, but now I'm just like, it gives me the icks. I don't like it anymore. But no, this one was a very sweet read, and Kit is a very lovable character, along with certain love interest that comes along, and also the other young boys that are interweaved throughout here. So overall, we're talking culture shock. We're talking Kit says, these are my friends. They're not, this isn't a charity case. And I'm just here to be a good person and try to enjoy this dreary town. All right. Now we are at a current read. So currently I am reading a novel called The White Girl. Yes, yes. We have a lot of random reads this month. Again, it is based off of what I have available. Some of these I've had on hold in Libby, and this was one of them, and it became available. So, of course, yes, let's go ahead and read it. It is now available. Now, the way that it is said is it's a profound allegory of good and evil and a deep exploration of humor interaction, black and white, alternately beautiful and tender, cruel and unsettling. That unsettling part, oh my gosh, absolutely. Um, and I don't know if so. It seems like first off, this is set in Australia. This is set in Australia in the 1960s. So in America, we're talking Jim Crow time. In Australia, their Jim Crow is 25 times horrible. My goodness. So basically, our main girl, her name is Sissy, and Sissy, she's a white-skinned Aboriginal. So she's a me. She's a mixed girl with white skin. All right. So she's a mixed kid with white skin. And her beautiful grandmother, Odette, she's currently caring for her because the piece of poo mom left her when she was just 1 year old. She's gonna sit here, and her poor mother, she's just gonna leave, and she just has her little note on the table. Hey mom, I ain't feeling it, can't do it, peace out, you can do better. What? And there's a whole thing behind why Lila leaves, the mother. There's a whole thing behind it. However, no, I can't abide. I will not. Um, that child irritates me. She is not really a main character in this book, but the way that her story starts to unravel, just made me so mad. Made me so mad. So basically, what's happening right now in Australia is they got the messed up things, kind of like what happened to the Native Americans here in America. So, but only to the white skinned kids. So basically, the Aboriginals in Australia, there were several children who were born, fair skinned. And the government decided that those fair skinned kids, they're ours. Those are our responsibility to see to their welfare and to assimilate them into proper society. And not to mention, they were stealing them. They were just straight up stealing these little white skinned Aboriginal babies from their family, putting them into, um, the schools and the nunnery houses. And it's just so sad. It was sad and it was heart wrenching, just to think that because of the way that your baby is born, oh, no, you're a little too dark. Let us take that light skinned baby and raise them right. Mm, no, I could not abide. But yeah, so I'm about 82% in. Currently, I do have it rated at a 3 star because there are a few F bombs that are dropped. And my thing is, again, this is a novel and it's a historical novel. And also, it's not like it's geared towards children or anything. But my thing is, I really can't stand it when we have unnecessary cursing. Like, there are so many other words. I would have preferred you to use a word. If you want to use a slander or something, do something that the Australians would do. I don't know if they be dropping F bombs like that. I'm not sure. But nah, there's just too many F bombs for my liking. That again were unnecessary and didn't add to the story. You still could have got that punch, got that thing across. Yeah, do better on that. But okay, moving along. Um, right now, poor Odette, she has done gone off to try to find her good for nothing daughter to help take care of her now 12-year-old daughter because unfortunately she's sick. And just the journey that Odette and Sissy have to go on to try and find this little girl is crazy. So it's another smuggler story, okay? Because Sissy, remember, even though grandmother is the one caring for her, paying her bills, making sure she's fed and clothed and all the things, technically Sissy is a ward of the state just because she has white skin. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Like, hold on a minute. You're going to tell me that this ain't no foster kid. You're not paying me to take care of this child. This is my flesh, my blood. And just the things that poor Sissy has to come to terms with, like, while they're traveling, like, you cannot call me Nan. Like, Nana, you cannot call me Nan because I'm supposed to be like your little house girl. Like, what? Just, it was so frustrating. And there were so many other points of contention where you just see the horrible divide during that time. And from what I understand, Australia still deals with this quite a bit today. We have a few characters that are white, they're white men, and one is special needs. So unfortunately, special need, you get kicked to the side. You might as well be just like one of those aboriginals. And then you have this very sweet but very like lost sheriff, and he grew up with Odette, and his story was so sad. It was so sad to see that, the people of the law, the white men, had to live alongside the Aboriginal people. And in this case, having to live alongside Odette all his life, and then, but not being able to connect. I can't say anymore, or it would spoil it. But very, very good read, very insightful read. It's an easy read. I just started reading it this morning, and yeah, I'm already 82% done. So yeah, pop that in, do some laundry, get some cooking done, sew a blanket. I don't know, but it's a great read so far. Highly recommend. Up next here, I have all the other reads that I have slotted for this month. And again, this is based off of what's available in my Libby and what is available on my shelves, things like that. So, to try to break some of this up, of course, I'm going to be jumping into the second book of the Nevermore series, and this one is called The Wondersmith. So excited for that. I won't read anything because it is a series and I don't want to spoil anything, and I'm going in blind myself. I just know I'm here for it and I want to read it. Next up, I've got Soon. Now, this one is new to me, and I'm actually really excited for this because I when I do heavy reads, sometimes like The White Girl, and then again, I have to jump out of my fantastical world here and there and kind of come back to reality. I always love a good dystopian. A dystopian is my palate cleanser. That's weird. I know most people navigate towards a rom com, but a dystopian is always a good go to for me. But I am loving this one because Soon, the beginning of the end, and it's called the Underground Zealot series. Now, we're already done. I already know I'm going to read it. It's Jerry Jenkins. I'm all in. But basically, here we go. Paul relishes his job and is good at it. He is determined to expose the underground religion, flush it out, expose it, kill it, until his life is turned upside down and he is forced to look at the life at life in a different way. As Paul begins to unravel the truth about what he has found, events taking place around the world start to make sense. Story of Paul. Awesome. Let's do it. And it's set in a dystopian? Absolutely. I am here for it. I don't know which one I'm going to read first. I think we are going to stick with the plan, and I'm going to go ahead and pick up the Wonderling, the Wondersmith next, because the White Girl, yeah, it's it's not horrible, but it is still a little bit heavy. Anything that has to do with children, race issues, it always hurts my little heart. But I had it on my want to read list, and I try to I try to actually read what I put on my list. Like I put it there for a reason, and it has been a wonderful reminder of one, why I'm glad to be in America, two, why I'm glad and blessed that I was born in the time I was born in. So thankful for that. And three, it's just again a reminder of how evil the world is, but then how beautiful the world is when you have Nans like Odette around. It's an absolutely beautiful story. I love it. Okay, so up next, I had How to Con a Gentleman or To Con a Gentleman. I don't know how I feel about this one. It's got an average rating of 3.5, but again, these are ones that I already have. It looks like I have it already in my what's that thing called? I have it already in my Audible. So yeah. As a con woman who has spent her entire life fending for herself on the streets of London, Rose Wakefield knows how to scam a gentleman out of his money without ever getting caught. That's until she knocks on the wrong Earl's door and is faced with Carver Ashburn, Earl of Kinsworth, and not the notorious rake she thinks she's approaching. That's awesome. Okay, so Hmm. I'm here for it. It says it's gonna be a little funny. Okay. And yeah, there's a few booktubers that I follow that again have also put this one out there. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do it. That'll be a nice transition going into February for love season. So I may hold that one until last. It's just depending on when I get Tetris in. So over here you see I not Tetris, I said Tetris. Tress. Whenever Tress comes in, I know it's going to come in this month, and I had to push it out until after the 15th because I wasn't sure which way I wanted to go, and I wasn't ready to jump into it yet. I am still not ready to commit to this book. There are a lot of mixed reviews, but I really do love a good fairy tale retelling, and it said Princess Bride, and that's all I needed to know. I love Princess Bride. Absolutely beautiful little story. So, the only life Tress is known on her island home in an emerald green ocean has been a simple one, with the simple pleasures of collecting cups brought by sailors from faraway lands and listening to stories told by her friend Charlie. But when his father takes him on a voyage to find the bride, and disaster strikes, Tress must stow away on a ship and seek the sorceress of the deadly midnight sea. Amid the spores of the oceans where pirates abound, can Tress leave her simple life behind and make her own place sailing the sea where a single drop of water can mean instant death? I don't know. It says, high fantasy romance. For the most part, what I'm seeing is it's clean, so that's good. I've been wanting to jump into this Brandon Sanderson world. I've had a few different recommendations for where I should start. A lot of people said I should start with the Mistborn series. I do want to start with that, but I am still waiting patiently in line. I was not ready to give up one of my credits on Audible to purchase that first one. So, yeah, we're just going to keep patiently waiting. Again, we got to get out of that instant gratification mindset. So, that's where we're at there. Awesome. And which one we have here? Not which one. Goodness. The the winter the frozen river. Yeah, the frozen river. So the river, Ariel Lawhorn. I'm really excited to get into this one. It's about a midwife who I guess done totally like she's just a rebel. This girl don't care. And it says a gripping historical mystery inspired by the life and diary of Martha Ballard, a renowned 18th century midwife who defied the legal system and wrote herself into American history. I love a good woman story. I'm all down for it. Strong female leads. And I haven't had much mystery in a minute. So I'm pretty excited to jump into that one. Okay, we are coming to the end of my January command center here. Right here, what you can see is what I'm doing with my sweet little kiddos in Sunday school. We are doing rain or shine, trusting in God in every season. Absolutely a beautiful little series. And this month, our sweet little memory verse: be strong, all you who put your hope in the Lord, never give up. You know what? It just it's so hard. It's always harder. It's easier said than done. It's easier said like be strong, put your hope and your faith in the Lord. It's always so easy to say that, but there's so many things and so many distractions and so many worldly irritants that can distract us from the promise of God. So I absolutely adore my Sunday school kiddos. It's one of my favorite days of the week, and yeah, this month's series, God is faithful and present, always working in our lives. We might get knocked down from time to time, but when we put our trust in God, we find the strength that we need to get back up. And very excited to get to when you're angry, talk to God. That's going to be week 3, and I think all of us as grown-ups, as followers of Christ, I think sometimes we have a problem with talking to God when we're angry. We can talk to God when we need something. You know, we can even say, when we're happy, we can talk to God when we're joyous, when we're singing and worshiping. But when it comes to being angry, I find it hard sometimes to talk to God. So I'm looking forward to going through this series with the kiddos as a great reminder that we need to talk to God all the time, rain or shine. Talk to God. He loves you. So, yeah, so excited to go through that with him. And this week's Bible reading plan, I got through Genesis 1 through 15 and Acts 1 through 6. Um, I'll have this cute little graphic up so you guys can see just a couple of spots where I had such a good time and a good time. I do. I have a good time reading through my Bible. Like Abraham, that man gets on my nerves sometimes. And when I was reading through The White Girl, when Odette and Sissy have to go through this, okay, I'm not your nan, that I immediately, I was like, Sarah, you're not my wife. You're my sister. That just immediately had me there. And yeah, that was a good part. But I think probably the most profound moment, right there, Genesis 3. I always tell my kiddos and anyone else, like, you want to know where you come from? Read Genesis 1 through 3, and we're done. That's where you come from. That's how you got here. Okay. That is what happened. And that's all you need to know. But the insight that I had was there's my voice. We going. Okay, we got to wrap it up. Could you just imagine poor Adam and Eve, just the way that they were deceived by Satan? Like, get behind me, say, I'll be darned. Can you just imagine how it feels after you wake up from sin? Like, oh snap, I'm naked. Like, what? Like, I don't know why, but in right now in life, like I, I I don't think it ever hit me as hard as it did this time around. I've done a Bible reading plan, read the Bible in a year for a couple years now, and it's just I never had that highlighted, never even thought about it, but I was like, wait a minute, I'm naked. Oh snap, I'm naked, and I am afraid for my Creator, my Father in heaven. I'm afraid for Him to see me, and oh, it's just so heart-rending, but it also is like a good reminder, it's a good way to remember when you get ready or when you even think, when that thought of sin creeps into your heart or into your mind, just remember, you're going to wake up in a minute, your eyes are going to be open, and you're going to be naked. You're going to be standing there in front of God, and He's going to be looking at you. Who told you to do that? Who told you was naked? Who told you that you cannot rest in me and the grace that I give you and the promise of the kingdom to come? Like, who told you? And that was just my thought, going through Genesis 3. I had to read it a couple times because it's like, snap, I'm naked. And I just had a good period of reflection when I reflect back on my own sin. And it doesn't matter what kind of sin it is. All sin is bad. All sin is dirty. It is. And we're dirty people. We have the propensity to sin. And that's okay because that's why we have a God who loves us. But man, when you just sit there and you think about it, I'm naked. It helps you get through the day. It helps you to trust in God, rain or shine, and do the best you can and live in the grace that He's given you. Not take advantage of it, right? Like, we're not going to take advantage of God's love, but we can rest in Him, and we can wrestle with those hard questions, um, about our relationship with God. We can wrestle when we're angry. We can have those conversations with God. You can wrestle with all that stuff, but don't wrestle with God. Okay? Because first of all, you're naked. You're naked, and I think we know what happened to the man who wrestled with God. So if you want to walk around with a thorn in your side for your life, you go ahead and do that. But I shall not. Okay. So I'm looking forward to jumping in and continuing through Genesis 16 to 29 and Acts 17 through 14. That's what I'm going to be reading next week if you want to jump on in with me on that. And yeah, that is our Bible wrap up for the week. So, quick life update, and thank you all so much if you're hanging out thus far. I definitely appreciate it. I am going back to school. It is finally time. It is back to school season. I start my data programming languages class today, January 7th. Again, we are over halfway done on our journey to Bachelor of Science in Data Science. I am so very excited. And of course, I had to be a teacher's pet and get ahead of the game. And let me tell you guys what, we are jumping right into Java, and there's a lot of reading to be had. So yeah, I'm going to be getting all of my homework done. I have already jumped in and started doing some labs. Let me tell y'all what, white space. That's all I gotta say. White space. White space, white space. It doesn't matter, you know, where you are in a piece of code. I'll have a little video here of me doing one of these darn labs, and I tell you what, the stupid white space gets me every time. It doesn't matter what language we're in. But yeah, something I truly need to work on when it comes to programming and data science is watching out for those spaces in white space. Eh, we'll get there. Very excited for the journey. One of the projects that I'm hoping to get done and share with you all as I complete this class is I'd like to do a little bookish app. I don't know exactly what type of bookish app I would like to do, but to test my skills and put them into action, that's a project in the works. So, more to come on that. Thank you all so very much for hanging out with me. Please like and subscribe if you want to follow along this journey, and look forward to seeing y'all next time. Bye.